more updates that you have shared. Now, let's shift our focus to other developments. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has stated that no one has supported Pakistan's military regimes and undermined its democratic processes as consistently as Western countries. In an interview with the Danish newspaper Politiken, Dr. S. Jaishankar has criticized that the West for backing the Pakistan when it was under military dictatorship. He has suggested that such support has weakened democratic institutions in the country, whether it was Kennedy and Johnson who backed Ayub Khan, Ronald Reagan who shared a close personal rapport with Zia-ul-Haq, or even George Washington Bush who more recently supported Musharraf after the 9/11. The West's history of cozying up to military regimes in Pakistan is quite evident. Professor Madhav Nalapat, who is editorial director at the TSC, is joining me live. Major General P.K. Sehgal also joins me live on the broadcast. In fact, on that note, let me first clearly speak to my guest, Major General P.K. Sehgal. Sir, appreciate you joining me live on the broadcast. Now, this is a big statement that has come after a month of what happened in Pahalgam, that has also garnered a lot of attention on the terrorist activities that have been exposed by Pakistan from the world and from many countries who have given their staunch support to India. But this particular statement by Dr. S. Jaishankar denotes to India's complete stand on how it views West. While there is a question, there is a subject of supporting the terrorist activities and also covering up for their actions after India has been clearly advocating that it has killed nearly 20,000 of innocent civilians to the terrorist acts. Your thoughts, Mr. Sehgal?
I am absolutely and totally in agreement with what Jaishankar has said. The Western world, particularly America, has never been supportive of India. Right from the time when Pakistan became independent during the Cold War, John Foster Dulles, who was the Secretary of State of America at that point of time, absolutely and totally supported Pakistan because Pakistan was an ally of theirs in their Cold War activity against then Soviet Union. Then again in 2004, after the 9/11, Pakistan was made an ally of America. They were given the non-NATO status. Whether it was in 65 or 71 war, Pakistan was absolutely and totally backed up by the Western world. In 1965, Pakistan war plans were made by America and Britain. And they had given them also an aircraft which was the latest in the world at that point of time, Sabres. Whereas we fielded only Second World War. They had the latest Patton tanks again gifted by Americans, whereas we had the Second World War. Their artillery had a range of 21 kilometers, where we had an artillery of range of only 11 kilometers. That notwithstanding, we won the war because of the man behind the machine was very solid. His moral motivation, the cause for which he was fighting was superior to that of Pakistan. 1971, again, it was the Western world, Americans and the Britishers, which drew their operational plans. It was because of their idea that Pakistan carried out preemptive strikes against 12 of her frontline airfields. And they had plans that they will have breakfast in Jammu, lunch in Jalandhar, and dinner in Delhi. But what happened was something totally contrary. Within 13 days, we broke up Pakistan into two halves, and 93,000 troops surrendered. But that notwithstanding, if you recall, Americans had sent the 7th Fleet in the Bay of Bengal, and Henry Kissinger in his memoirs says that had Pakistan not surrendered, they had plans to vaporize Calcutta. So even thereafter, whether it was the Kargil war, etc., it was Bill Clinton who whistled up Nawaz Sharif, and he was also wanting to whistle up Atal Bihari Vajpayee, but Atal Bihari Vajpayee resisted the move, and Bill Clinton had told him that the Pakistanis have moved their nuclear arsenal from Sargodha and have made it with the F-16, and you should come here. And they wanted Atal Bihari Vajpayee to compromise and barter away some of our land in Kargil. Notwithstanding that, Atal Bihari Vajpayee took a very strong stance, and he said, should Pakistan dare launch a nuclear weapon against us, within 8 to 10 minutes I will wipe out Pakistan in totality. It will be only known in the history that a country called Pakistan existed. Even in today's thing, if you've seen what Donald Trump has been up to, it is clearly indicative of the anti-India stance by them. Though they have, none of these countries, though they have, held India's hand, none of them have strongly condemned what Pakistan did at Pahalgam, which is something very, very strange. They've been utilizing the situation with Pakistan initially to counter Soviet Union, thereafter to counter Afghanistan, Taliban, and thereafter even to keep an eye on China. But Pakistan has always been playing a double game. They've been supportive of all military establishments across the globe and have weakened their democracies throughout.
All right. Mr. Sehgal, thank you very much for being with us on the broadcast. I appreciate your comments and your thoughts. Now, on that note, I also have Professor Madhav Nalapad, sir. Appreciate your presence on the telecast. As the comments have come by Dr. S. Jaishankar, this also clearly exposes how India wants to make the stand clear to the global powers as well, when it categorically views terrorism, as Dr. S. Jaishankar has said, and also accused Europe for supporting Pakistan and backing Pakistan when it was under the military dictatorship. Not just that, Dr. S. Jaishankar has also identified terrorism as one of the world's largest and most pressing collective issues. Apart from all the other issues, terrorism remains to be at the first, first number. Now, how exactly this statement also positions India in a dynamics of India's relationship with the West as well, when India has made it very clear that no matter what, they will continue to fight the terrorist forces?
Look, India and the West are friends and partners in the new Cold War, where it's been fought against China and the US principally. But the fact of the matter is, the West has to understand that, and the West cannot just slight India as it used to in the past. The reality of the situation is that India is the key ally where the Indo-Pacific is concerned. It was Japan in the past, but today the Japanese are very important, the Australians are very important, the Indians are the most important for geographical reasons, for reasons of a young population, for reasons of robust economic growth, for various reasons. So the West, frankly, there's an increasing segment in the West. But you must remember, the Pakistan army are masters at dealing with Western media. You have even a second-class journalist from a third-class Western publication, and he is received at the airport by people in uniform. He is saluted. He has a guard of honor. He goes in a military car to the wherever he's staying. They've arranged a beautiful guest house for him. All that is done. And forget about special correspondents and editors. They're treated better than the Pakistani state royalty, because for them what's important is a good foreign press. And they spend so much of time and money on butter for the foreign press. So I want to say that I'm not surprised that this thing is happening. I'm not surprised at all that this kind of thing is happening. So because that's all the military is good at. It's not good at fighting. It's not good at war. It's not good at any of these activities. It's not even good at covert war anymore, because in Pahalgam we exposed them very quickly. The reality, the one thing they're good at is basically choving up the information networks in the West, and they do that by cultivating the journalists and by treating them in a very beautiful style, right from the arrival to the airport and to the departure. They are seen off at the gate, and they're treated, they're saluted. All the other passengers are amazing. They say, amazing, who is this VIP? And then the VIP comes and sits into some corner seat, and when he gets out of his, whether London or Paris or Berlin or Washington, nobody is there for him. He's a nobody. I'm not saying he's a nobody. He's important. Every citizen is important. So what I'm saying is, Pakistan is special in that, and that is one reason why the Western press loves Pakistan, keeps visiting Pakistan, keeps getting this kind of expensive treatment, and keeps writing good publicity, because that good publicity is what this Pakistani war machine is good for. Spreading lies and falsehoods through Infowar, which today, frankly, India is exposing, has robustly been done by External Affairs Minister Jaishankar in his statement. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Nalapur, thank you very much for being with us on the broadcast and also sharing your thoughts. Now, let's shift our focus